Welcome to the online information session for the Master of Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program here at Adler University, Vancouver campus, British Columbia, Canada. I'm the Master of Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program director, Dr. Duanita Eleniak. Before we begin, I just want to invite you to call or email us at any time with your questions or if you need further information. One of the best features is that we are a small program, which means we will always have time to give you personalized attention. Let's start with some basic information about Adler University. The campus you would be coming to if you choose this program is located in the heart of downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Adler University has another campus which also hosts an art therapy program, which is based in Chicago, United States of America. Together, we work as sister campuses. Please refer to the Adler University website for more specific information about our Chicago campus if studying in the United States meets your personal educational goals. Adler University is one of the oldest freestanding professional schools of psychology in North America. The university has enjoyed international recognition for the expertise of its faculty and the exceptional quality of its programs, publications, and clinical services. The difference going to Adler for your master's is in the experience of community. Our school has its roots in the work of the first community psychologist, Alfred Adler. As a result, we emphasize training socially responsible counselors and creating a unique experience of community for our students. One of the questions prospective students ask is if we teach only Adlerian theory. The answer is that we teach all theoretical perspectives within an Adlerian philosophical context. When you come here, you will get exposure to all of the traditional theoretical orientations, including Adlerian. In the Master in Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program, you will also get exposure to some of the cutting-edge theories which incorporate working with creativity and creative source energy. As a practitioner, you'll be able to choose which theoretical perspective best suits your unique path as a counselor art therapist. So what is art therapy? Art therapy is an expressive therapy that involves visual art in a creative process for self-exploration and greater self-understanding. In the program, you'll learn how to incorporate the creative process along with the traditional and cutting-edge counseling theories. How does art therapy work? Art therapy enables self-expression through visual form. It allows connection with creative source energy, which can bring forward the healing properties of the life force through individuals. When you become a counselor art therapist, you become very versatile in who you can work with, because anyone can work with art as a second language. So art therapy is done with people of all ages. It's done with individuals, with families, with groups. And one of the common things that people think is that they need to be able to do art in order to do art therapy, which simply isn't the case. Art therapy can be done with people who have an art background, and it can also be done with people who have no previous experience in the arts. When you become a counselor art therapist, you also become very versatile in terms of where you can work. Art therapy is being done in clinics, in studios, outdoors, in a huge variety of settings. A wide variety of materials are worked with in art therapy. All the tools facilitate participation in painting, drawing, sculpting, building, collage work, fabric art, etc. These are some of the physical tools of the profession. The Master in Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program began with the first cohort in September 2014. Applications are accepted on a continuous basis, and we encourage interested students to apply now, even if you're working on completing your prerequisites. And because we admit students only once a year in the fall, we recommend that you contact our admissions advisors as soon as you know that this is the program you would like to apply for. The reason you want to do this is that sometimes conditional acceptances are granted. A conditional acceptance is kind of like hanging your coat on the back of a chair to reserve it for you. As long as you complete the conditions in the expected time frame, the seat is yours. If you fail to meet the conditions, then the seat is just passed on to students on the waiting list. The date you make your first contact with admissions and begin your application process is one of the keys to successful admission into the program. Applications made early have the advantage since the first qualified students that apply are accepted on a continuous basis. The Masters in Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program is unique. You will learn both verbal and nonverbal counseling skills, and this gives you a range of abilities which makes you extremely desirable as a counselor. So you are learning to be a counselor who can provide treatment with both words and images. One of the unique features of the Masters in Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program is that as soon as you come, you will get practical experience by getting involved in the community through your social justice practicum. The social justice practicum is work experience that begins in your first year. It's based on Adlerian values of social responsibility. It's designed so that you acquire knowledge about community-based problems. You're going to be working in a range of programs and services designed to address these problems. And this is all in line with our commitment to train socially responsible practitioners. You're going to do 150 hours minimum. For your social justice practicum, we do our very best to match you to an area that you're interested in working in your career. So you might be working with street people or people with difficulties with mental health, people with difficulties with addictions, people who are dying, or people who are facing physical illness challenges. You could be working with children, youth, or elderly people. And we also often offer an international opportunity for a social justice practicum. In addition, we are open to your unique original ideas of where you would want to work to make a difference in the world. So we hope to make the practicum mold around you and your interests in order to foster your own unique sense of social responsibility, community, connection, and caring. Open studios are another unique experience in the Masters in Counseling Psychology Art Therapy program at Adler University. As a counseling art therapy student, you're going to learn how to create open studios on campus in Studio 1. These are art experiences that you will create for students from all of our programs, as well as for our faculty, staff, and alumni. Open studios have become the vibrational heart of our campus. They provide a really unique atmosphere which draws those on campus for relaxation, fun, and relief from the pressures of life in academia. Open studios provide a space on campus for counseling art therapy students to operationalize what we intend as an Adlerian community. So they have become a space where we get together and create, connect, and really form our campus community. In the second year of your program here, you will begin your clinical practicum, where you will enter the field to gain hands-on experience. Clinical practicum happens in second year after completing all your coursework and your social justice practicum. Students complete 700 hours total. 350 of these are directly with clients and 350 are indirect. For our clinical practicums, we attempt to connect you with a field placement that connects with your unique interests as a practitioner. So we encourage students to begin formulating their vision of where they want to work when they complete the program, and then to work really actively together with us to create a practicum opportunity to assist you and your learning needs in the area that you're interested in. We're not always able to do this, but that's certainly our intention. When you graduate, you can apply to be registered as a counselor with a variety of professional associations. It's really crucial that you inform us with regard to where in the world you want to practice when you graduate, so that our training department can do its best to meet the registering association's requirements from the location where you will be practicing upon graduation. Now, most of our BC students apply immediately upon graduation to become a registered clinical counselor with the BC Association of Clinical Counselors. Other students who are practicing in other places in Canada often apply to the Canadian Counselling and Psychotherapy Association to become a Canadian Certified Counselor. You're also eligible to apply for registration as an art therapist when you complete this program. And again, there's a variety of associations that you can apply to. All of the associations in art therapy also have a requirement that you complete postgraduate supervised direct client hours. Every association has a different number of hours that they require, and so you'll have to check with them when you graduate. But the most common associations that our graduates work toward registration with after graduation are the BC Art Therapy Association, the Canadian Art Therapy Association, and the American Art Therapy Association. Let's take a look at the kind of work opportunities that counselor art therapists have when they graduate from this program. Our graduates work in private practice, in mental health organizations, they teach, they create products, and some of them work as artists locally, nationally, and internationally. There really are more settings for counselor art therapists to work in than I can possibly go through, but I want to give you an idea and a bit of taste of the kind of work that you can create for yourself upon graduation and registration. In addition to getting jobs, we also encourage our graduates to set up private practices. This really allows you to offer creative groups and individual services that may not be feasibly offered through agencies and community organizations. Now, here are some images of the private practices of some of the faculty that we have here at Adler University who teach in the art therapy program. Private practices make a lot of sense on a business level as well for graduates. Now here's the private practice of Dr. Marie-Josée Dais, who's the founder of the Center for Expressive Therapies on Vancouver Island. This is the outside of her special playhouse, and the dog is her canine co-therapist. Just before I show you some examples of private practice, I want to point out that this is another big difference with educating yourself at the Adler University. All of the Adler faculty also work in the field, which means that we remain current and up to date on what's happening in the community. And this really can make an incredible difference for you in terms of connections in the field upon graduation. Dr. Evangeline Rand is another of our adjunct faculty, and she works from her home in Edmonton, Alberta as a depth psychologist. Her specialty is textile arts, and she teaches special courses like sacred geometry at Adler. Here's an example of her work, which is currently being shown in Edmonton. They're the large mural pieces, and the exhibition is called the 7 Female Liberal Arts. As well as private practice, there are also jobs available for graduates in mental health organizations, including both nonprofit agencies and government agencies. So some examples of nonprofit agencies include sexual abuse intervention programs, family violence programs, and community health centers dealing with a variety of health issues. Examples of government agencies where graduates work include organizations dealing with addictions or social issues like poverty, mental health system, or the criminal justice system. Our graduates also end up working as teachers at a variety of institutes like the Social Justice Institute of British Columbia, as well as at private universities. They also teach their own workshops in the areas that they specialize in, for example, self-esteem workshops, vision board workshops, children going through divorce workshops, etc. So we teach in a real variety of settings. I usually like to say, if you can imagine it, you can teach it. We also really like to encourage our students to share information in the world through the creation of products for sale. So upon graduation, our graduates create books, ebooks, audiobooks, pamphlets, textbooks, online courses, cards, Once again, if you can imagine a book or a course, then you can create it and have it as part of your work and source of income upon graduation from this program. Some of our graduates also end up working as artists, often selling their work and putting on shows. This slide features the work of Linda Lang, who's an art therapist working out of Victoria, BC, Canada. So, in summary, our graduates work in a variety of ways upon graduation. They work as counselors, as art therapists, as teachers, as writers, as artists. Because it's a creative field, it has an incredible, infinite amount really of possibilities and opportunities. And so which path that you take upon graduation really becomes up to you.